You do it with your heart, or better, you don't do it at all. You do it with your heart, chances are super high it's fulfilling. Nothing to look for. You do it by thinking, you do it because of rational decision, without the heart being involved. It's okay to a certain extent, but you're going to reach the limit. Your life's going to be functional, it's not going to be fulfilling. The message in a way is, whatever you do, it's good to integrate the heart, to integrate and ask what is the underlying feeling in your average day.
Everybody, no matter where they are, is able to transform something about himself or herself. It's just about the methods and the understanding that, first of all, it's possible. Second of all, there are methods how to do it. And third of all, you don't need to wait for anybody to come into your life in order to start it. So the message is, there is a big part that you have in your own hands. And there's a big other part you don't have in your hands. And I'm just saying, maybe it would be good to focus your energy into the things that are 100% based on your own energies and your own actions. Yeah. In Buddhist teaching, number one is about you yourself become suffer-free, first of all, for yourself. And second one is develop the compassion to help other people, other beings, not just humans, to get along the same path for personal liberation. So why is that compassion so important? Because ultimately we are connected.
This idea of what is called as be in the here and now, be in the present moment, what does it actually express? It expresses alignment. And that's what very often may be missing. Alignment. Inside of yourself, you think about something, what you really want. You think about what you really want, but your words say something differently. And your actions are also, again, a complete other area. So you think this, you say that, and you do this. And then it's like, okay, 3 areas. How should the power of the universe know what you want if you, for yourself, are already separated into 3 beings? But if what you carry in your heart, carry in your mind, speak out and act upon it, if all these 3 things are together, it's super easy for the universe, or however you call, to understand this is what he or she really wants. Here it is. Because there's no doubt about it. Because it's pure. Because it's direct. Because it's no disturbance, no interference. It's clear. And this is where I think like this power comes from. And this clarity of body, mind, thought, word, action, this you can only observe about yourself in the present moment. And this is why I think it matters in a way. If there is some influence you have upon your life consciously, then I think the best timing to do the adjustments is now. It's the present moment. If there's something to adjust about yourself, to take your life into your hands, let's say, it can only happen now.
Simply said, be content, be full, wake up and already be ready, waking up and knowing everything you need, here it is. Should I not do the things that are available today? Should I not go on the beach if I like to go on the beach? Buy a nice car if I like to buy a nice car? Jump from the parachute if I like to jump? I didn't say that. What I'm saying is, if your satisfaction about life, your fullness of life is dependent on these things, then it's a problem, because they will not be available to you at all times. When I set myself a goal that I really want to have, I have no doubt about it. I only need to have patience. I need to be clear and calm to really figure out the proper plans, how to do. And then, meanwhile, there is no doubt in that sense, because I feel if I really want something, the energy must be there. My mind must be there. If my mind is there, my energy is there. And there we have sometimes these nice Asian sayings. Whatever is important to you, where your heart is, there is the mind. Where the mind is, so where the intention is, there is the energy. Where the energy is, there's the creation. So, if your heart is hanging on something, but your actions are doing something else, that just means your energy and what your heart really wants, they are not merging at all. So the universe doesn't know, what do you want? What should the universe give you now? So for me, it's all about alignment. What I feel inside aligns with what I talk, it aligns with what I think, it aligns with what my actions do, it aligns optimally with the proper circumstances. And when everything is aligned, then the energy can just flow. Then it just flows and it just happens. Respect, take care, and love your body. Nourish your body, nourish yourself in such a way that you understand it's something right now very, very precious to have. This is number one. There is a difference probably what type of sport you are doing. The question is inside your organs, everything inside. How much tension do you carry there? This is also a way what is happening in all of these martial art practices, meaning you become more fine than even about your body. And the more fine you become about the body, the more access you have to it. And because you become so fine, the mind becomes so fine. It becomes more subtle to the changes that are happening inside our lifetime. And then what do you do with that ability of you sense the subtle changes? It is like you have a way better possibility right now to really fine-tune your life. That frequency doesn't sound right. Now it's okay. Yeah? So it has something to do with how fine are you to adjust your life. Yeah? It's like you're a busy man, you have a hobby, you have a profession, you have the podcast, maybe you have a girlfriend, maybe you have children. The more you have, the more aware you need to become. How do all of these areas actually interfere to your overall feeling? And if one of these things like needs more attention, you need to be able to sense this. If another is too much, then you need to take a little bit. So it's always a type of balancing. The more areas in life you have, the more detailed, the more fine you have to become to balance all of this out. You spend too much with podcasts and with work, with your hobbies, well, your relationship won't be happy. It's just going to be like this. But you give all energy only into the relationship, well, you're going to be unhappy because all the other things that are also important to you don't have enough energy. So it's a very fine line sometimes to really figure out how to adjust. And that means to be able to really sense. Stop making too concrete plans and ideas how your life is supposed to look like. Let's just imagine we plan everything into detail. You plan it so well that actually you know already where you are going to be in 10 years. What's the point of waiting 10 years long knowing already what's going to be the outcome? Like, you know right now already what's going to await you in 10 years. It's pointless. There is something completely missing that we humans are able to tap into. And this means sometimes that spontaneous things is what is adding the salt, that is adding the spices into it. If everything would be planned, let's put it like this, it's boring. I think it is the balance, a personal balance, or people need to find for themselves about, I am determined, I commit to something, I give my life a direction. Let's put it like this. You give a direction, but what appears along the way, walking towards the direction, this is you're open to. It's a kind of combination. It's not that you like freely float around in all directions, no. You are committed, you have a goal, that one is fine. But along this way, there is still something about spontaneity, there's still something about being able to adapt, being flexible, and also to sometimes immerse yourself into something that inside of your plan just wasn't there at the point of planning. Is that structure and the pattern of you are never enough of where you are. There is always something more. Taking it back to how to build a proper, purposeful, fulfilling lifetime.
I think it is very much related upon skill. How skillful are you walking through this lifetime? And the more skillful you are, the more beautiful, the more easy, the more playful, the more enjoyable you can walk through it. This is like the whole analogy, how I can maybe express it. If you want to go deep in something, time is necessary in how much you're spending with something, but at the same time, it's also your ability to observe. I also witnessed quite a lot like feeling inside the people. The mind sometimes I feel is not there. They are physically at a very beautiful place. Physically they are there, but the mind seems absent. Because apparently the mind and the body is nothing which naturally is regarded as being together. And this is the result of why? Because sometimes of the system. Because you continuously look and search for something which is not here right now. So what does it mean? It means body is here, but your mind is looking for something. And if you don't pay attention to this, it can just manifest and express itself in exactly such things. You find yourself actually in a place which is super beautiful, which is offering everything that you need, but you are not going to recognize it because your mind is a step already again ahead of it. And if this type of pattern, if this type of habit and conditioning you don't realize about yourself, I really think you're missing some essential part about living this lifetime, which is about the enjoyment of what you have. So does it mean I should always enjoy just what I have at the moment without ambition? No. Again, balance. Work for things you like to have, do the work in order to get it, but observe yourself at the same time when it comes, when it enters your life. Do you still have the ability to really forget everything else and just enjoy what you have? There's something about balance there. It's really helpful, and especially it doesn't cost anything. This is the best part about all of these sharings and teachings, that it only depends on your perspective. Everybody already has his or her own perspective. But the more perspective you have, the more possibilities, the more choices you have. At the end of the day, you are the one, it's your life. You decide and you take the consequences. If sometimes in this lifetime you feel I'm stuck somehow, why? Why are you stuck? Because you continuously try to move forward with the old patterns that also haven't worked the last 10 times. It's time for a new perspective. And at the end, I see the situation from this angle, from that angle, from that one, from that one, from that one, from that one. So that means I see many perspectives. This is why I probably see many more solutions. And then at the end, I choose the one which I think is appropriate for what I can do, and also which consequences, and they will come. Every decision will have a consequence. The question is, can you live with it or not?
But what you can do at all times, every day, is to do something about what is in your own hands. Yourself. Turn the finger around. Do something about yourself. Develop yourself. Invest in yourself. You grow as a human being. You grow in skills. All of these things, they will naturally just follow, because you are starting to express something that people nowadays are not seeing often anymore. You just become the magnet. Why? Because people are used already to average. Every day they see average. Yeah, but now they start to see something different. They start to see another attitude towards life. And so this feels, I think, like a magnet. Taking care of the mind. How do you do this? In order to know what is important to you, it's necessary also know unimportant things. It's not necessary 7 days a week to only do important things. What I mean is, you need balance. You consciously sometimes need to do something where you really feel this is really unimportant. Because it keeps something inside of you open. In our field, keep the body not just healthy, but watch out for methods to to make your body really performant. Performant for that specific area where you want to find yourself in. Physicality, activity, vitality, yoga, many things you can do. But there should be something. For every person, there's the right time. There's nothing to hurry, nothing to worry. It's in each individual hands. So why do they fail at the moment? I could say because they haven't failed enough yet in order to make the next step. Or because they didn't see the lesson yet from that failure. There are so many different reasons why people do not continue. But it's just a question of time until they will. Switching the states of mind, putting yourself consciously into different states of mind. There are different ways how you can put this into practice. It is super helpful if you learn to work in cycles. For example, when it comes to you need a new skill. You want to develop something. You need to learn how to use a new software program, to learn accounting, to learn to do the web page. You want to develop something new about you. The most effective way is to cut yourself off for a certain period of time and do nothing else in between. For that period, for that cycle. I don't think it is a good method within a 30-day month to spread it apart, to have too many things at the same time. Here you make that skill, here you make that, here you make another one. Of course, people say, yeah, but I can't concentrate on one. Well, concentrate on 3. Better on 3 than on 10. Because it's not just physically transforming, mental changes. And they just don't go so quickly if you jump too much. They don't penetrate deep enough for you to have a lasting impression of what it is that you're trying to develop there. Whatever vision and dream you have upon yourself, that you are projecting upon yourself, I do think that you need to have at the same time a commitment. The commitment, and what are you going to do with that identity of yours if you're gonna get there? You are creating because you want to help. You are not creating any identity of yours in order to harm. I think if this is what your initial intention is, then I think the penalty will come. You might reach it in this lifetime, but if you bring this one to an end, if you continuously go there, you're gonna be lonely. You're gonna have everything you want. You're gonna have everything that blinks. You have all the reputation. It's all great. Everything you ever dreamt of, you have it. What you don't have is something that gives you real stability. Something that gives you real value in this life. I think it is something that can't be taken off from you. It is the connection to other fellows. It's a connection to humans, to animals, to this world, and ultimately the connection of this life. The mind can be your friend and the mind can be your enemy. You worked so hard for it. Now you have it. Enjoy it. But you can't enjoy it if all the time you think about last week or if you think all the time about what happens in the future. Enjoying what you have is you arrive exactly where you are right now with what you have. That's it. There is no wishing for something more of the future, and there's not wishing for something that wouldn't have happened of the past. No, you're in the present. That's it. And the more you realize this about yourself, the more you integrate this just into your normal being, then it starts to shift. Just bring more presence into present. If I observe myself, the most of the time I'm present and I'm realizing when I'm not. When I'm absent, I realize it. When I'm present, it's my normal state. For other people, maybe it's the other way around. The truth is, you're always present. You just don't know about it. There's some layer on top of the presence which somehow makes you think you're not in the present, but we're always in the present. Just the realization that you are is not there because it is overlaid by thoughts. If you take the thoughts away, you will realize, oh, there it is. One approach that we have at the moment in this world is, in order for us to feel full, we need to attain something. We need to do something. You need to have your diploma. You need to have your job. you need to have money, you need to have the first car, you need to have... So this approach is about you need. It's about doing. But the realization that I was just telling you right now that you have yourself is, no, it's not about doing. It's there already. It's just covered all the time. This time is not about adding something there. It's about this year must go. And that one must, oh, there it is. Nothing needs to be done. It is something we have to undo. This is the Eastern approach. It's the balance. You don't have to throw away everything that you have learned. It's just that there are more perspectives, that when you have access to both of these perspectives, just find out for yourself. Sometimes this makes more sense, sometimes this makes more sense. Well, important part is, as long as you have it, you can choose when to use it. But if you don't even have it, you can't use it. So what does it mean? Whatever there is to learn in this world, it's never wrong to learn it. You never know if you will need it one day. And then it's better to have than to need. It is one way out of many that are existing. I did talk only about this my whole life because I walk this way. It doesn't mean it's the only way. It's just because I walked it for so long, it is my understanding of how these practices interfere or are connected with building up a life that you think is worth living. That's it. What is the Shaolin practices doing for me? Help me build up a life, a quality life. That's it. But ultimately, it's the mind. You make your body strong. You have movements that on the one side also sometimes are quite aesthetic. And it's so nice and whole for me. There's everything involved. There is diet involved. There is structure involved. Like, when would it be good to wake up? When is it good to go to sleep? And all of these things. So it's a whole nice, let's say, culture, tradition. This is what I find so nice about it. That the search is over. You don't need to search for, like, here I take this yoga practice, and then from here I take the breathing exercises from here, and from here I take like the dancing moves, and then you have like a mix-up menu. But mix-up menu maybe gives you the feeling of you have some freedom. Yeah. But structure gives you direction. You eat at 8 o'clock, then you have training from 9 until 11. When you finish the training, you're hungry already. But you need to wait until 1 o'clock. Cannot eat in between. Yeah, but why can I not just go to the kitchen and eat when I'm hungry? Because this is your mind telling you. But there's something about you which is stronger than the mind. The mind can be your friend and the mind can be your enemy. And if I'm telling you there are 3 times per day eating, that's it. In the first weeks, still you're thinking about eating, you're hungry, all of this. But at some point, you will have accepted it. That, okay, 8 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 6 o'clock. You're okay. And what does it mean? Now the real freedom has come. Now you're free. Because even if you're hungry and you say next food is at 6 o'clock, no problem, I can wait, it's good. And you're free. Not free is, it's 2 o'clock, I'm already hungry, 4 more hours, I need to eat something. I cannot wait until 6 o'clock anymore. This is not free. This idea of what does freedom mean to you, does it mean you can go to the kitchen anytime you want? No. That means you're slave to the mind. Free is no matter what the mind tell you, you can wait, I can wait. This is where now you see that sometimes it's necessary to have this obvious structure and discipline. But why? Because it's a helpful way to bring out that type of freedom that we say from our tradition. This is the freedom. It's also not the freedom in terms of you walk through Cluj, yeah, many beautiful women. But at home you have your own women sitting already. Now you could say, well, it's a free world, we're all free. So my wife is at home, but actually I can still flirt around. This is a way of where you say, well, this is freedom. Yeah, but where does this type of freedom lead to? It's leading to suffering. You're causing suffering by behaving this type of free. No, if you have one wife, you stay with that one wife, that's it. And you stay free from suffering. But if somebody is tempted too much, If somebody cannot handle his temptation, he's enslaved by temptation. And at some point, this type of behavior is not just going to bring suffering to you, it also brings suffering to everyone that you are involved in. This is where I say, what type of freedom are you talking about? And the freedom that eventually is going to get onto the costs or is causing suffering to you and other ones, this is not the freedom we want. It's the type of freedom that makes us be able to live together in the community way better. This is the way of freedom, where I can let you live the life how you like to live it, and you let me live my life how I like to live it. I don't need to tell you your way is wrong, you should live like I do. No, this is not free, this is limited. This is thinking you have the answers to the questions of the universe. Well, you don't, just as like I don't have them. The only thing I'm sharing right now is my observation. I don't say it's right for anyone. I just say until now, everything we talked about, it worked for me. If something is useful from what we have talked about and somebody tries it out and then realize, cool, also works for me, I'm really happy about it. But if somebody says, well, this is not my way of living, I don't share this opinion, it's not a problem. What is it in the evening that is sucking energy most probably? It's the mind. It's the mind activity very much, which is sucking a lot of energy. You go to bed, you wake up in the morning, but still feel like very tired and not recovered. It might be the reason that your brain, your mind is still too active in the evening. Stop thinking too much of the past, stop dreaming too much about the future, practice yourself, remain in the present, and this also then translates into your quality of sleep, because when you sleep, you sleep. When you eat, you eat. When you talk, you talk. When you work, you work. But nowadays, people work and they think about eating. People eat and they think about sleeping. People sleep and they think about working. So there's something not aligned. There is no synchronicity. You are here, but actually something else is there. This is not how it's supposed to be. Being present means sleep, you sleep. You talk, you talk. You eat, you eat. You walk, you walk. You drive, you drive. You listen, you listen. This is ultimately where all of this journey goes. And then the amount of sleep is not so important, but the recovery rate is very, very different. I'm happy if I have 7 hours. When I have 7 hours, I'm happier. 6 hours is quite limit. So 6 is really limit. I can maintain even 5 or 6 hours, but after a few days, I feel it's not good to continue like this. Because then you're starting to really burn some energy which you cannot recover anymore. Very interesting now when it comes to that word energy, how it is related to diet, breathing, and lifestyle. The quickest way to change something about the way how you feel during the day or energy state are these 3 things: diet, breath work, and lifestyle. If you have good, nutritious food, if your breathing apparatus is working properly, and if your lifestyle, let's say waking up at a certain time, going to bed early enough, having enough sleep, if you maintain all of these 3 things, chances are very, very good that your energy level is proper. If the diet is not good, if your breath is not good, if your lifestyle is not good, still you are alive somehow, but the energy that is now being sucked out from you in order to make you still functioning, it is coming from something that we, let's say in the ancient tradition, call it comes from your essence, which means ultimately no good lifestyle, no good food, no good breath, life short. You die early. Very simple. So that's it. You have come to this earth. 9 months long you were in the womb of your mother. Then you came to this world, complete already, a complete existence, a complete life. Now this life is getting some additional information that the parents put into you, informations that come from education, from friends, from advertising, from television, from internet. So the point is you are being conditioned. Your ideas about the world start to fill up with all type of content, but this content is not from you. This content is from people around you putting it into you. but because you were small and maybe didn't know about it, you allow it to happen. Which means now, if you look at your life, what are you? You are the representation, most probably, of all the ideas that other people have put into you. And if this feels unhappy to you, if you are not feeling well into your skin, well, you need to change your skin. Meaning, also starting to realize what actually is that type of stuff. What are these concepts, these ideas, these thoughts, these categories that people have tried to put into me, and slowly start to get rid of them. Returning back to the state, you came complete, you are complete. And now, because it's your life, stop wasting this lifetime trying to fulfill the wishes of any other person out there that have no interest in your life and that actually you also don't want to spend time with them. So don't take their advice, for example, so serious. What to do to build up at the same time now your self-confidence? Make yourself strong. Make yourself strong. How to do it? Always learn. If there is something to learn, learn how to clean, learn how to cook, learn how to wash the windows, learn how to repair the car. Whatever you can do, just do it. So that gives you that feeling there is something that you can do. You're not completely helpless. There are, of course, other people that can do it better, but still, it's not about that. It's about as long as you have a healthy body and a healthy mind, there are so many different options in this world you are able to express yourself in. But in order to do so, it is necessary to also engage in life. Meaning, if there is an option to learn, of course you learn. And then merging this learning together with learn to build up the body. So mentally, you're going to become confident. Physically, you're going to become strong and confident. And before all of this, you have started to release all the chains of the ones that put you into chains that just don't mean anything to you. So cut the chains and then start to use this lifetime because it's your lifetime. This one, only one time. So stop listening too much to other people, how to live your life or whatever. It's about the self-expression of your own perspective about how you would like this world to be. Of course, taking into consideration all your fellow travelers that are on this world. It's somehow always the fear of losing something. Meaning losing something also in terms of fear of the unknown. So what are you losing? The known. Fear of the uncomfortable. What are you losing? Yeah, being comfortable. This is where I see where this fear is based upon. It's the resistance actually against growing. It's the resistance against finding out how big this universe is and what is possible in this world. Because now just to imagine, if there would be no fear, there would be nothing unknown, nothing uncomfortable. So what does it mean? It means you could already see into the future what in 2025 you're gonna do, where you are going to be, which people are going to be still with you. And in 2025, exactly this is going to happen. So for me, the question is, it feels really boring that just what you put to your mind and then just it comes 2 years later exactly the way how it is. Nothing better can come because what can happen is dependent on how much you can imagine. If something is not able to be visualized or being seen inside of your mind, inside of your world, that would mean it can't happen in this world. And there again, I think this one is so big, he or she, I don't know. It has more creativity, it has more power, it has more possibilities than any human being could ever imagine with a human brain, with a human mind. That's why the uncertainty of the future, for me, is nothing that is threatening me. For me, it's a good message. I am happy I don't know what is in 5 years, what is in 10 years, what is in 15 years. I'm happy about it because it leaves just so many things open that can still happen. The only thing I take care about is that my mind stays clear and my body stays strong. And all the other things, I don't know what comes, but when it comes, I hope I will be ready. I hope I feel being ready to enter into the future. So I really think a change of perspective that makes something which is terrifying into something which is inspirational.
What is true strength?
The ability